All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. Hope you're doing
Excellent.
well.
Doing good, man. Doing good. We actually got quite a bit on our list this morning. It's gapping up and down. So we'll get to those. A couple of names that don't trade all that well, like SAP,
Don't even look
CSRS.
at that.
Yeah, those are ones that we know for a fact don't trade very well. Even XPEV is not one that's pretty great to trade neither. So we'll see. We'll see what we can get today. Again, today's going to be one of those days where we're talking a lot about this in our chat room yesterday, where you got to be patient, especially with the way things are with the market, with today being election day. There's a lot of unknowns, right? The market doesn't like unknowns. So we're up 1.2 right now, which is nice. So we'll see how things are going to play out. But again, I think it's one of those days where we need to be extra careful today. With that said, let's get to our market pulse, Norm. What do we have going on, if anything at all, besides the big elephant in the room?
There is nothing happening today at all.
Yeah.
No news. No nothing. No, I'm just guys. And that economic calendar is not correct. I don't know where that's coming from. It's a different day, so ignore that. Obviously, today is election day in the U.S. We'll get into that in just a second. But other news, you've got factory orders coming in at 10 a.m., and then you're going to have auto sales for the month of October. They will be trickling out from the various manufacturers at different times. There's no set times on those. Um, as you said, well, the SPY right now up 1.2%. Qs are up just over 0.75%. VIX is down roughly 4% for the morning. Spoke about that yesterday. Got into that a little bit. So the big elephant in the room, as you mentioned, it is election day in the United States. Most very anticipated event going on. And won't get into politics, obviously, but we'll say, there were some people asking about how have elections traded in the past.
Hmm.
And so what I can say about that is probably throw it out the window. Between coronavirus and the number of people early voting, the hostility going on, people boarding up stores, people saying it'll be days, if not weeks, before we potentially know who wins or not. Hopefully, that's not the case. But I think a lot of players, a lot of big players, are at the very least coming up with a game plan of how to trade a chaotic aftermath of an election where nobody really knows who's won. So I would take it all with a grain of salt. This is really nothing like we've experienced, and we'll see what happens in the next few days. So
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And for a lot of us, this is the first time even trading through an election, because a lot of us are been trading less than 4 years, myself included. So we'll see what happens. But again, one thing is for sure, patience is the
and
key, guys, and not
you know
rushing into
just
anything.
just as an example, the last election, which while there was some degree of hostility, and obviously, with Donald Trump being a non uh, establishment candidate, there were some questions around it, and to answer what happened 4 years ago, and I don't think it's going to be anything like that, but just an example of the extreme volatility. Once it was clear that he was going to win, and election night futures were down huge. The Dow futures were down something like 800 or 900 points, and then by morning and the next day, the stock market rallied like crazy. So it's better to either trade extremely small in that kind of volatility, unless you're really experienced and know what you're doing and have a good game plan and trade book, or sit on the sidelines and just watch, trade and sim. Unless you're very comfortable, and you have damn good risk management, just be very careful. That's all I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what we have on our gapping list this morning. Let's start with what's down today. We got just a little bit on the downside. So let's clear this up, make some rooms, make some rows here for us to get our list together. And for those that are new, I usually do about three lists. The first one on the top is going to be my main list. The one in the middle is kind of the possibles. And then if we have any low flow or any riskier stock, I'm going to put those down here just to keep an eye on, but we usually don't really focus heavily on the low flow stuff. So starting out here, SEDG, this one right now gapping down huge, 19% almost up, down with some volume, 112 at the moment. Pre-market though, it's not looking great. The volume down here, you can see only 1.7 yesterday. That's on the higher end. If you look back, it doesn't trade much. So not the best trading stock, and that's why this pre-market's not looking great at the moment. Looks like probably earnings last night. Nice little drop here after hours. So I do like the drop here, guys. But again, this volume is concerning. I don't think we're going to get anything great out of this one as a possible, and only because the gap down, how nice this is, right? 19%. But aside from that, I don't see anything else here that looks good. Also, let's look at the spread here. 70-cent spread right now in the pre-market. Yes, that's going to get better at the open. But it's just the way this is trading here. Some of these candles are a dollar and two.
They had
You
earnings
know,
last night.
yeah.
They had weak guidance. They didn't hit their estimates. This is an Israeli solar company. Also
Hmm.
got two downgrades that I've seen this morning. I don't know that I'd touch this one. Frankly, I'm
Yeah.
not a big
The
fan of it.
the moves on this is going to be crazy, even with volume, even if the spread tightens up a little bit. You can see how wide these candles are. And again, foreign stock with very low
Dollar to dollar
volume.
50 spread.
Yeah, that's not going to work out. So I'm going to actually take this off even as a possible. Today's the day that if I have only three stocks to watch, I'm good with that. It's that type of week, actually, depending how things go. Here's PayPal. We were watching this one in the close show yesterday. After hours, they'd had earnings here, and look at the drop. So did not do well into this play here. Down 5.6, 383 thousand at the moment. So Norm, just update us on the latest and greatest on PayPal.
Yeah, they beat analyst estimates. But one of the most important things is their forward guidance, their outlook,
Hmm.
which was disappointing, and that's causing it to drop this morning.
Yeah, so a bit of a drop here. I love the daily. We are sitting at close to an area of great support here, as you can see, going back in mid September. So I do like what I'm seeing here. They have great volume, definitely in play this morning. So we'll add PayPal to the list. Next we have Baba. So Baba, this morning we were early on in the chat room, and Squawk Radio announced something about some regulatory stuff, and then we got confirmation in the chat room that's about their IPO opening up, having some issues in Shanghai, being one of the, like, I guess, the biggest IPO. So I only know that because we were talking with our members in the chat room. So that has affected their stock, has been dropping here. They're down 6% right now with 2.2 million shares traded so far. So this bad boy is definitely in play. Not a good situation for them right now. And they're taking a bit of a hit this morning, definitely on our
Yeah,
list today.
as you said, the Ant Group IPO has been pulled by Chinese regulators. I don't. It, Chinese politics are complex, and I don't. I
Yeah.
try not to pay much attention to them, but there's some kind of rift between the Chinese Communist Party and Jack Ma and other people involved here, and so they've pulled that IPO at least for now. I don't know the whole story on it for sure. I hate trading Baba.
I do too.
It's in play today.
Yeah.
I won't trade it just because I don't like it. But
Yeah. It
that's
is
kind of a little bit of the background there.
a very, very tough stock to trade. I'm with you 100%. I think the few times I touched this stock, I have lost money. Very rarely do I make a winning trade on this, or I get out before my time because I just can't read the price action. I'll get out of break even or something. Here's CRSR. This one right now, not looking good. This is one of the horrible stocks we're talking about. 18 million shares float, 111 thousand right now, 117,000 shares traded, up 9%. But just look how this thing is trading. It's just horrible. So I'm not a fan of this one at all right now. And if you look at the intraday plays as well, you can see how bad this is what the market opened yesterday. Look how bad this thing trades, right? So I'm going to stay away from that one. Here is W. They are very active, up 6.1. Is this morning? No, this morning they got some action going very early on here. Up 6.2. We're a lot higher before with 611,000. Norm, what we have going on it? I know the news is probably just got out this morning.
Yeah, they had earnings they released this morning. They beat people stuck at home. Same pandemic story.
Hmm.
Doing stuff to their houses since they're stuck in them and not spending money on vacations and
Right, right.
so on and so forth.
So this one, guys, up 6%, definitely in play. Not the easiest stock to trade, I know that. But let's see what happens. We got some good volume coming in now. We have Plug up next. This one looking good right now, up 5.6. Remember, this stock was trading very well during this time here, right? Every time we had a good pre-market action, we had a great intraday start to the day, and a lot of good continuation. So we saw a lot of that throughout this period here, early October, end of September. Then here it just got pretty crappy. It's not giving me a lot of good plays. The daily chart shows that as well, how you're chopping around and not really getting any continuation. It looks like they had a good day yesterday. I did not see how they traded yesterday. Looks like they had a nice little engulfing at the start here and really continue to trade very well into the market day. Right now, pre-market looks good, guys. I want to keep this one on here, even as a possible. I think does have some potential. I do like the daily here, getting a little bit of a bounce of a 14 bucks here, which was a prior area of resistance. If you can see that right on there, great resistance becomes great support, and we're seeing a great bounce here. Norm, is there any news out of Plug this morning causing this pop?
Um, it's a combination of things. I don't see anything specific. Maybe
Hmm.
I've missed it, but it's kind of common with this stock that it kind of goes on different news that's not exactly clear. We've got a few things, and the pot stocks, you'll see Tilray's up, CGC is up. You've got EVs, electric vehicle, China EVs specifically up because of Neo reporting a huge sales bump for October. So I think the alternative power and pot plays are in play. People possibly positioning for a Biden win, part of it as well. So
Hmm. Yep. Neo definitely active. Since I'm looking at it now, let's put it on here because Neo right now 4.7, and this stock has been trading so clean the last couple of days. Let's hope it continues doing that. So for Plug, I'll put it as a possible for now. It does have some potential here. Nice little pop up 5.7. Let's look at Workhorse next. This one at the moment up 5%, 194. Pre-market is not looking great. I do like the bounce off the daily here for the most part. Maybe we can come back to it because I know Workhorse can trade very well if it gets the volume. It can have some good intraday trades on it. So let's add it on there. Let's take a look at Tilray TLRY right now. Not a great pre-market action. They do got some volume up 4% at the moment, but that's about it. Had a good day yesterday. Yesterday kind of took off here nicely. So you know what? No, I'm going to keep it off for now. Let's look at CGC. This one tends to trade a little bit cleaner. Had a good day yesterday as well. Pre-market right now showing 181, up 3.7 at the moment. Again, although Tilray has a lot more volume, has a somewhat cleaner pre-market action. I do like CGC a whole lot better, even on the daily. This breakout here looks pretty clean, and also I know the stock can trade a lot cleaner. So we'll put it as a possible for now to have something in there with the past stocks being active today. See if we can get something going. SAP is really a really horrible stock to trade. Yeah, it is really trash, guys. Very hard to trade. Doesn't trade very well as a foreign stock. This thing had a huge drop a couple of days ago. If you guys remember that, didn't do well here. Has then dropped some more, kind of consolidating sideways here. But again, just even if it bounces back here, it's just a very difficult stock to trade. PDD is next. This one dropping down at the moment. It's up 2.3 right now, 309. So we got some activity out of it. Again, another one that it trades good when it has news. I'm not sure if there's any catalyst behind this one today, Norm. PDD.
yeah, hang on, let me look at my notes.
Yeah, sure, man. See if there's
Um,
anything worth watching there.
no, I don't see anything specific on PDD. I think it's probably in the same realm as this Baba drop and the reasoning behind that. That's the only thing I can really think of.
All right, perfect. So we'll throw it on as a possible for now. Let's look at LI. I know a lot of people traded LI yesterday. I find this stock, difficult to read, but I know a lot of people took some pretty good shots at this one yesterday and made out very well. So there's LI yesterday's action. Right now we have 421. It is up 2%. Their daily here starting to break out nicely. I gotta say their daily does look good though. So worth putting on a list. Even we'll put it as a main one right now. We'll check it. They got some good volume at the moment. Pre-market action is not that bad. They're up 2%. I know this is a recent IPO, correct? Yeah, recent IPO. When I say recent, it's August, not anything like yesterday, but still very much recent. And I like their daily here. Possible breakout of some highs they got going on. So worth taking a look at into this one at the moment. All right, let's see what else we have. Last one, Zoom, and this will be Exxon Mobil, not Zoom, excuse me, Exxon Mobil. I don't want to get you guys confused anyway. Actually, Zoom ZM. This one here is up 2%, but this is a difficult stock to trade. Also, I think it is one of those stocks where you need a good catalyst to get going. Look at the pre-market action now; it's very, very choppy, up 2%. Oxy looks like the oil companies are in play a little bit here. Oxy's up 2.5, also not looking great though. We've seen some pretty good stuff out of Oxy. But since both of these are making an appearance today, let's just see how this today is going to affect these companies. I'm going to put Oxy here because they tend to trade a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. We had a lot of fun with this when a couple of months ago. This thing was wild, man. A lot of good plays in this area. So we'll keep an eye on it. But right now, it's not looking great. Might not even stay as a possible the way it looks right now. I'm just going to take a look here at JD's coming up on our gapping down list. Now, JD's somewhat affiliated with Baba, right? They tend to trade together somewhat. So they're taking a bit of a hit here as well. This morning, they're down 1.7, 866. That's some good volume. I'm going to add JD to the list. I think today could be a day where they get some good possible opportunities out of this one. Right now, stuck between this consolidation on the daily, but against the bottom of that, which I like. If we can break down from here, we got some nice room to play with here if we can get going. So JD looks good today. Norm, what do you like on your end so far?
Um, Nothing. I'll probably sit on my hands today for the reasons I already discussed with the election and everything else. I'll keep an eye. Neo, I like, but I don't. Nothing specific other than that. So
Yeah, yeah, agree 100%. Again, patience, guys, is the key today
I'll be
with a lot of
super
this stuff.
patient. I'll do the same thing I did yesterday, which was wait for the market to do something, not trade quite as early as I usually do. Sit
Right,
back. Let's
right.
see if it finds a direction. Let's see if it holds this gap up for the morning. So
Yeah, I did the same yesterday. My first trade was not until I think it was 1 o'clock. We were in the chat room and Neo had a possible breakout. I got stopped out of break even. But yeah, I didn't trade the morning. So we'll see what happens today. All right, let's take a look at what you guys liked so far. Let's start with Rom 30. You have Tesla. Let's take a look. I have JD already. Let's take a look at Tesla this morning, see what we have going on there. They are on the run. They are up to almost 2% right now. So they'll be hitting our scanner shortly here. 479. Great pre-market action, though. It's a good pre-market activity right now. Their daily also looks good, getting a little bit of a bounce of this 380, getting above 400. So yeah, I think Tesla. I don't like trading Tesla, but I know a lot of people do. So I'm going to put it on here. We'll do some levels for that. Next, we have JD. That's on our list already. JP Morgan and Twitter is next. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan up 1.7. Their pre-market action only 50,000 shares. They had a nice little pop over the last couple of days here, and they've been making our gappers list because of this pop here. But they're barely making it now because they're only 1.7, and the volume is very light. But yesterday, let's see how they traded. Again, you did get a nice little trend trade here, but the volume just seems like it was not all there. It seems very light to me. I don't know. Again, these banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they're very difficult to trade. They're not easy. This looks clean now without looking at the actual price action on the intraday. I'm not sure if anybody traded this one yesterday, but again, this is up now 1.7, but the volume is very light at the moment. Again, I think what Norm says is going to be key on these banking stocks. See how the market is going to react at the open. Make sure you have a chart up to look at how those are reacting. Here's Twitter. So Twitter, I don't see anything great. You're up 1.6. It's pretty flat for the most part. They had a couple of nice red days here. They are very extended, could be due for a pullback off this level. This previous day close seems to be a nice area of support. That was prior resistance. It looks like around August or so. So it could be due for a pullback, but as far as something in play right now, I'm just not seeing it for Twitter. And usually Twitter, if you guys remember, in these 2 days here, obviously we had news here, we had a catalyst, and then both of these days we had crazy pre-market action on both of these days. We're not seeing that today. And you also keep in mind, you also have a big trade here for 64,000, bringing this down a whole lot than what you're seeing at the moment. Let's take a look at NET. NET for the most part, what do we have here? So NET, no volume, guys, only 4,000 shares. So we need volume for sure. Even on a day like today, you want to see some volume. I think the volume could be lighter than usual at the start, but you want to see something with some decent volume. Workhorse we have here, we have on our list. I have it as a possible because the pre-market could get better, but I do like the daily here. It is up 5.6. We just have to see how the volume is going to come in on that one at the open. It can be choppy that first 30 minutes to an hour, so be mindful of that on Workhorse. Snap is moving sideways, pretty much flat. Not a whole lot of volume right now. Their daily looks great, guys. Right, you have a nice little pop here. They consolidated. They get a drop as a lot of things did on these 2 days. So this would have been what, Friday and Thursday. A lot of stuff sold off last week into the weekend. So you're getting a bounce for 38. I just don't know if you have the juice for a nice continuation here or a good play today. I think it's just my personal opinion. It might just move sideways. But aside from that, and all the indications show that this is not really in play right now with this type of volume and pretty much being flat at the moment. Um, but Snap is going to be a good one for some weeks to come. I think this pop here has really changed the dynamics of Snap. If you look at Snap going back, look how low the volume has been after this pop up and maintaining this, right? Shocked a lot of us, myself included, as maintaining this price target, this price range up here. I think it's going to be a good one to watch, whether it continues to rip higher or lower. I think Snap is going to be in our radar for some time here. Let's look at BBGI. This one right now, trending nicely. Okay, now I'm not sure if this is a low flow stock, but let's say it is. I'll check in a second. You see this type of pre-market action. This looks a lot cleaner than some of the other stuff we were pointing out last week that just looks sideways, like just going sideways here, dropping down, and not really giving you a great intraday trade. Now this looks a little bit better. Still not as good as some of the other ones we saw about 2 weeks ago, but it does look a lot better. BBGI, let's see what is this. This is a 8 million shares flow. So yeah, this is in play. 23 million shares is what you want to see on an 8 million 8 million flow stock. This is perfect. So keep that in mind. I think the other time we were looking at stocks that were 1.5 and only had traded 200,000 shares. That's not going to do it. Again, be careful, guys. This stuff is breaking out of $1.20 here, and it's a low flow stock, so be very mindful. But right now, pre-market is looking pretty decent, up 82%. So we'll throw that on there for now. That will be for Brian's fun list. Yes, Hammers, I agree with that. Let's look at Baba. We have on the list. That one is on there. Yes, Baba's doing a lot of stuff actually. Beautiful. Probably one of the cleanest pre-market actions I've seen on Baba. So that's on there. Let's take a look at DK. Oh, sorry. Let's go up. Take a look at BA. What's BA up to? BA and the airlines, I don't think they're really in play. I think that these are going to be market plays, to be honest. United Airlines was very active yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, it was yesterday. Very active yesterday. American Airlines as well. But I think these airlines are going to be just marketplace, guys. So I will tune into this if they hit the scanner, the turbo breakdown and turbo breakup that we have, that we share with you in the chat room there. So if they hit that, I'll turn into the airlines. Or if the SPY decides to run one way or the other, we can take a close look at that. And ALSK. Okay, see now this one here. Now this is not good, right? Look at the action here. You got 1.7. You're moving sideways here. You're up 60%. What a big difference between this and BBGI, right? So ALSK, you don't want to be involved in this. There's nothing good happening here. I'm not sure if it's a low flow stock. I'll check right now. ALSK. Actually, it's not a low flow. It's 47, but still, this is horrible. You don't want to look at that. JM.
Looks a lot like a buyout, frankly.
Yeah, yeah, pretty crappy buyout too. Buyouts are really that's one of the buyouts that most likely is not going to be tradable, right?
I'm not
JM,
saying it is. I haven't looked at it,
mhm,
but that's what the chart looks like.
yeah, yeah. JMIA, this one moving sideways right now. A lot of volume, 1.7. Oh, hold on a second. I'm looking at the wrong one. No, that's not 1.7. This is I figured that. Okay, that cannot be 1.7. There we go. It's 110. Okay. Daily looks good. I like the daily getting a bit of a bounce here. Volume is not great. Pre-market action is not great right now. I do like the daily on it. You got a kind of an ABCD pattern forming here if you look at it from a bigger time frame. But aside from that, I don't see anything great. They're up 5.3. So, that could be interesting for a possible breakout here if they can get the legs going. Let's keep an eye on that. All right, what else we have, guys? DKNG, one of the stocks we've been watching pretty closely. DKNG. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. DKNG. No, yeah, this pre-market action is not great right now. I think you're gonna get a lot of chop. Again, has found a base here. We tested that a couple of times already, but I'm not seeing anything great. I'm not going to add this one today. Pins. Pins was good a couple of days ago. Right now, no volume, only 50,000. So we'll skip on that one. JAKK. See what we have going on here. This one here, guys. Down, I'm sorry, up 60%, down the last couple of minutes here. What do we have going on? Oh, the daily is horrible though. This is not a great daily. JAKK. What is the flow? 2.7. So yeah, so a very low flow stock. You got volume, guys, but just look how this thing is trading towards the downside. So you don't have shares for sure, and not that I would recommend you shorting a low flow stock that could be very dangerous. Yeah, I will skip on this. This doesn't look that good. I do like BBGI a whole lot better the way this thing is traded, the way the volume is, the way everything's forming here. But Jack is not looking all that great. All right, 9 a.m. We got to stop here. We have some pretty good ones you guys are throwing out here. Let's look at DDD, see what's going on there. No, and Dunkin' Donuts is very difficult to trade unless they
That's not
have
Dunkin',
catalysts.
no. Is that? That's what
It's
is
not
that?
Dunkin' Donuts. What is this?
Unless it's some different share class I'm not aware of.
Oh no,
It's
it's 3D
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 system.
systems. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was Dunkin' Donuts, but it looked good. But no, it's not Dunkin' Donuts, and this does not look good. So let's skip on this one. Just the way this thing's trading right now, you have 168 up 9%, but again, it's just not looking good. DKN is a buyout. All right, thank you for that. We will look at that. And PDD we do have. I think we are good to go. Yeah, let's go over to announcements and we'll come back and fine tune this list.
Couple of things before we get to the
Yeah.
announcements, Carlos, that I want to hit on. We got a couple of questions that I wanted to mention. So one was when we say it doesn't have good daily average volume, what do we consider good average daily volume? Frankly, I want to see at least a couple million shares. It's not the end all be all, but when you see something that from my experience, that's trading under a million shares on average a day, it's very rare that that's going to have the liquidity to have a good day. Not that it can't; it can potentially, but it better have one hell of a strong, some strong volume pre-market. Otherwise, you just don't have the liquidity. I don't have a specific rule. It must have X to make a list. I just by feel know that if it's 300,000 or 700,000 shares, it's probably not going to trade that well. It may have extremely high R vol and trade well. If that happens, I won't know that till the market opens because you're not going to have
Hmm.
R vol until the market opens. It may be a different story in that case, and we can pick it up on the scanners if so. That's the
Right.
answer to the first question. The second question, since you got the charts,
Yeah.
I will hang, let me see here. Boston Trader asked, you and I often say a stock is hard to trade. What are the characteristics of a stock that's easy versus hard to trade? So I would say on my part, generally, the tighter the spread, the better. Once again, back to volume. I want a ton of volume, a ton of liquidity going through it. I don't want the big spread that we point out that we're seeing here. I want something with consistent moves instead of all over the place, which we point stuff out when we're going through this and say it doesn't look like it has a good pre-market. I want to find something that's not, if I'm long, it's going up and retraces half of its move up just to continue the trend. Those can be difficult if they kind of just jump around. Uh, what else? What am I missing there, man?
No, you're clear on that. I mean, we when we say it doesn't look good. Let me see if I find a good example of one. Um, I mean, this could be one right here in the pre-market. This right here doesn't look great, right? And part of it is because you don't have continuation volume compared to something like let's look at Neo because I know Neo is going to have the volume. Look how clean and tight this is, right? And don't mind that. That usually happens around 9 o'clock, 8 a.m. You get these wicks here, transactions being posted. But if you look at this, you can see how clean this is trading. So when we say a stock is easy to trade and harder to trade, for example, we always talk about BABA being a difficult stock to trade, and the reason for that is because one the spread could be very wide. So when
Spread
you
pretty
when you
bad.
have a when you have a wide spread, you can get an ABCD pattern going, But the pullbacks in the price action are very difficult to read. It's going to be doing this up and down, up and down. Although it's trying to do the pattern you're reading, it's going to do up and down, and most likely might stop you out. Opposed to like a Neo, where it'll do the up and down, but a very tight range, right? And it'll be a lot cleaner because the spread is so tight. So things like that, when we say, hey, this doesn't look like it trades well, is usually because the intraday, the spread is pretty bad. It can jump around a little bit and it'll give you that nasty price action. A good example of that, guys, Zoom. Zoom is a stock, man. I'll tell you, I traded this thing when it was like a 190. I was it in this around this area, 190 or so. And man, it was a nail biter. Because the
Yeah.
way this thing was jumping around, I'm like, it's got the potential to go here. I have my pattern in place. But if this thing drops like that, 50 cents into my stop or past my stop, I don't want to be in that, right? So that makes it a difficult stock to trade. AMD, Nvidia, sometimes even Tesla are not going to do that to you. They're going to have a very good liquidity. They're going to be easier to trade. You're going to get the same indications, the same patterns, but you're going to have a easier time trading that type of stock, reading the price action. So um,
And just
that
one
that's
more quick
yeah.
answer.
Sure, we got time.
Somebody followed up a question on is there a roof for volume for good trading? I don't know that there's necessarily a number it gets bad at. I will say, generally, the more volume, the better. There are times when some extreme things happen that the volume is so heavy and so fast, it's hard to register your mind what something's doing. I've had that take place a few times. It's not real common. Um, it's just kind of overwhelming that so much volume's coming in at times, and but it's pretty rare,
Yep,
and
yep,
it's
yep.
different. It's different by every stock too. Just as a
hmm I agree. And the more you trade, guys, the more you're around this action, you're gonna start picking that up yourself as well. This is why sometimes when we look at the gappers list, we'll say, "Oh, it doesn't look great." Without even looking at some of the tickers specifically, because we know some of these are don't trade well by experience. So, all right, let's go over to community announcements. We'll come back and look at our list today.
All right, guys. So tomorrow night we've got nothing on the schedule for tonight, guys. Tomorrow night we've got Managing Taxes for Canadians, 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's by Jonathan Warren. The next week, we're going to have Seth Freudberg from SMB University, their options trading program. He's the director of it. He's going to talk about how to transition to a career in options trading. That'll be at 8 p.m. next Tuesday. Note the day of Success webinar is changing to Tuesday. And then next week on Wednesday, we'll have Kreda talking about harnessing cognition for peak trading performance. One of our psych coaches, she's great. So hope you can tune in for that. She's in Europe, so that is a special time at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday next week. All right, guys, member trade of the day and trade of the week. If you would like to win the trade of the week and the $100 gift card from Amazon, you must first win trade of the day. So take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up with entries, exits, strategies, ideas, thoughts, reasons you took the trade, whatever you can do to explain the trade. Post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at Norm BBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. The winner will be announced every day in the Closing Bell Show. The winner for the week will be announced on Monday. And as I said, that's the person that wins the trade of the week, gets the $100 Amazon gift card for the week. Just a reminder that Andrew's book is available in Spanish, both on Amazon and Audible as an audiobook. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you'd like to try it out for 7 days, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24. That'll get you a discount off of the normal rate for 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. Does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. It also gives you access to Carlos's onboarding class each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern live. If you're looking to either upgrade your membership or become a lifetime member, use the promo code Halloween35 to get 35% off.
All right, thank you, Norm. Guys, let's go to the trade of the day. That was yesterday on CCL, and that goes to, I believe, Barris. Is that Barris CCL? Let's take a look here. I don't want to confuse it. Nope, not Barris. That's Reeling Trades. So, Rio Allen Trades, I think is the name. So, great trade here on CCL, man. Amazing job. So, congratulations there on winning the trade of the day for Monday. Now, the trade of the week goes to Light. Light is one of our members there that has been trading really well. I follow him on Twitter. He had an amazing trade on tweet on Neo here, getting in and taking some really good partials. And aside from the partials, what's really impressive about this trade is the entries, right? The ads to continue on this amazing run that Neo had last week. So congratulations there on the member trade of the week. So guys, submit your trades. We look forward to seeing them for the competition this week as well. All right, let's look at our list this morning. We have Baba. We have Baba's looking good, very active pre-market right now. We have W as well, coming right back down. Man, this thing's gonna go red again, looks like. So what's as high as 300 now, getting back down to 257. Now this thing's just lost $50, right? So again, another stock that probably won't stay on my list. That's very difficult to trade a stock that can move like that. The spread right now at times giving you 65 cents, 70 cents. It'll get better. But again, that's difficult to trade, difficult to manage your risk there. Here's Neo. Neo's looking good, guys. Great pre-market action, 5.7. Right now, the last couple of minutes kind of consolidating here, so that looks good. LI, it's got good volume, decent pre-market action, not great. This is the recent IPO, but again, I like the daily on this one, so I'm going to keep it. JD, potential play here with Baba being active, is down a bit there. Tesla breaking out nicely here. So Tesla really making a nice move at the moment. So, I don't like Wayfair, guys. I'll do levels for this one, but I'm not going to keep it on there. Let's move it down to a possible. My list today is going to be very small. I could tell already. And again, today, as we mentioned before, you want to have patience. PayPal, yes, we missed PayPal. PayPal is good. They're up here as well, so we'll keep an eye on them. So we have PayPal, Baba is good, Neo is good. LI, I'm on the fence. So if I'm on the fence on a day like today, just bring it down. Just bring the LI down. Let's get rid of it. JD, I'm aware that Bob is active, but JD doesn't look all that great right now. It has almost 1 million shares traded. It can get better. I'm going to keep it here as the top possible. We'll come back to it. But I want to make my list very focused today. And then here is Tesla. So we got some pretty good ones right now. I think four is enough for today. Let's do levels. Then we'll fine tune this secondary list as well after we get through this one. So as far as levels, here's PayPal. Low of the day being set right now at 175.30. So let's put a level there. Below that, guys, before we do that, you can see some good areas of support right in here on PayPal, right? You got a nice little bounce here, had a great comeback after a gap down nicely. And here you have some resistance and some support as well happening off of PayPal. So let's add PayPal to a level below that. We do have 172, great level right on here on PayPal. That's the second bounce off the previous of the market low right now, right? The low of the pre-market. So above that, we do have the high of the pre-market, which is around 180.60. So if we scroll out here, 180.60, which also plays in part with the support that we saw around this time frame, September, right? Look at the gray area of support you have here, 180.62. And if you go back a little bit more, that level was a great area of resistance as well. You had a beautiful breakout here, gapped up the following day, giving you a nice continuation. But again, some pretty good levels towards the top and bottom of the price action right now on PayPal. I don't think you need to add any more, guys. There is a minor level here if you want to get fancy. You can put this one on here right around, looks like 179.40. There's a lot of, if you zoom into July, it's a lot of resistance happening right on that level. You got some support happening here. So again, that could be a good one to have right below the pre-market high as well, just in case things lose momentum around that area or change direction. Let's look at Baba. Baba this morning, very, very active with some news, not positive, obviously. 281 is the low of the pre-market right now. Above that, the price right now sitting right at a level of support and resistance at 292.54. Look at the resistance here. You're getting some more resistance over here, and then a nice support. This thing gaps down and bounces right off that 292.54 there. So good bounce there. Want to put a level on there. Then aside from that, guys, you do have the highs and lows from the last two trading days. This thing has been consolidating over the last couple of days and just breaking out towards the downside this morning on the news that broke out. So you got some pretty good levels on this already. Guys, very difficult stock to trade. So just be mindful of your share size. I mean, it looks good today. We have actually a very tight spread on Baba this morning, as far as 30 cents. That's pretty good for the way this stock trades. It has a clean pre-market action, but just be very mindful of your share size. Here's Neo. Neo right now, we do have a beautiful daily on Neo, guys. This thing just continues to do ABCD pattern after ABCD pattern. Does a pretty nice consolidation like it did here. Another ABCD pattern here. Beautiful breakout we saw a couple of days ago. And then just continuing to gap up as it moves towards new all-time highs in a couple of days here. So 34.69 is your high of your pre-market at the moment. Your lows all the way down at 32, but I won't put a lot of weight into this. You have your previous day close here. This is going to be the area you want to focus on. This is going to be the great area of support. This is just a transaction line that's being transacted there at 9 o'clock. So this is where I want to really put my weight on when it comes to levels. You also have another level here that was tested twice. It's 33.60. That also has some weight to it because the price action actually came down, bounced off of that one more time here, bounced off of that level again of that price level. Let's see if this is going to drop down and bounce off of that one more time. So aside from that, guys, you don't have anything towards the top, right? 35 or so is your all-time high, and then towards the bottom, plenty of highs and lows. And also the previous day close there. But Tesla right now putting in, I'm sorry, not Tesla, NEO putting in almost 6 million shares, up 1.4. Tesla also gave a nice little pop here, high of the pre-market, which doesn't seem like it's going to stay there for long. It's 411 of 53. You got a nice little pop breakout out of this, almost this area here, which is the highs from, what is this? The highs, the lows from 2 days ago, looks like on Tesla. Yeah, I'm not sure where we're getting this level here from the 408. Yeah, it's the lows and highs from a couple of days ago. So that's on there. So that's good. Towards the top, guys, if you look at the daily, you do have a level here, 418, 418.13, a great level there as well if we can get going. And then above that, let's see, this daily doesn't look great. So when you have a daily like this, it's very difficult to find levels when you're between candles, right? So for example, up here, easy level, right? You can see how many there's candles get rejected here at 450, 455.26, and they're dropping down. You got this one that broke out fine. You throw a level there, but for the most part, here's a heavy resistance on Tesla. In here, it's a lot of choppiness, right? You don't have these type of clean candles where you clearly see the rejection. So I'm gonna pick the best one and just put minor support, minor weight on it, not too much weight. 430.41. You can see here, you got a couple of touches in this one here. More support happening here, a lot of resistance here. So again, that could be a minor area of support and resistance because not everybody's going to find this level, this 430. But this one here, this 455, everyone is going to find that level because it's very, very clear. So when a level is not as clear as this one and this one, you're not going to have or every single trader looking at this. But I guarantee you, every trader has this level here because you can't miss this level. It's a very, very strong level. Same as this one down here. If you look at 407, it's a very strong level. You clearly got support. You clearly got resistance. Very easy to find. So that's how sometimes you can tell that this level is not going to be as strong. You don't put that much weight onto that level. All right, let's see what else we have, guys. So it's our secondary list. I want to reduce this a little bit. JD is starting to look a lot better now. I do like this drop here, and if it can break down from here, you know what? I'm gonna move JD up. That was a mistake. Let's put this back up. It's looking really good right now. Starting to trade very nice. So right now, stuck between this back and forth resistance and support at the moment. I do like the crashing down here. If it can get below this area of great support, by the way, look how many times this thing has bounced off of that. So again, another great level. You want to put weight on this one because this one has been tested over a couple of times here. Towards the bottom, you do have 78.70. Look how great that is. It's resistance and nice support there. And then down here, it gets a little flaky, guys, right? You don't have a great area of support resistance. You do have one right on here at a 76, 63. I don't think we'll get there. The 78, 70 is the one I like, but if it does get down there, we'll have something in place. So right now, pre-market action is looking good, guys. You have your highs and lows covering you for the most part. Previous day close, you do not need to add anything more here. Getting a nice rejection off the VWAP in the pre-market right now. So JD is looking pretty good. All right, let's see what our moderators have this morning. Let's start with John. So John, you have high of day breakout. You're looking at BA, Tesla, and Baba. Eamon has PayPal. We have PayPal? Yes, we do. PayPal, BA, Tesla. Secondary list, CGC, Baba, and NEO. No IPOs expected today. Peter's reporting, and here my our watch list is his watch is AMD, Neo, PayPal. Secondary, he has Wayfair, which is W, CGC, TLRY, and BABA. Mike is not trading today. He's going to be heading to the polls. So nice. Brian is BABA, Neo, UAL, BA, and BBGI for fun. We had a bet going that was the one you were going to pick for fun in our chat room. So yeah, we did win that bet there. And then likely a ALLC on the daily. Tiffany is looking at a BABA, Tesla, and Neo, and PayPal as a secondary, and Thor only has BABA today on his list. So that is what our moderators lineup is this morning. Aside from that, guys, I think we're pretty all set. Again, today, guys, it's a big day. Just be patient. We don't know how the market is going to react. This whole week is going to be a little bit funky. It has been already, but we were able to find some good moves, like Neo yesterday. Neo traded very well, gave us some good opportunities, some good breakouts, amazing reversals. But you have to be patient, right? So same thing today. Be patient. Let's see what the SPY is going to do at the open. And trade well, guys. We will see you again. There's no events for tonight, so we'll see you again tomorrow at 8:30 or for the close. Mike, are you guys doing the close, Peter? The close at 3:30? Excellent. Yeah, so we'll see you at the close, which is a lot of fun. I was there yesterday, and man, we had a pretty good time there, chatting about things, and good time, good time. All right, guys, take care, trade safe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. Take care, everyone.